Richard Burton once quipped, "The only word Elizabeth knows in Italian is Bulgari." That single line captures everything about this Roman house: glamour, obsession, and scandal. But Bulgari's story isn't just about jewels on famous necklines. It's about a brand that nearly blurred itself into irrelevance before coiling back like its iconic Serpenti to strike again. From a silversmith's tiny shop to a global empire, Bulgari's arc is one of audacity, excess, and reinvention. And along the way, there are hidden stories, robberies, record-breaking feats, and eccentric choices that most viewers have never heard. The Roots, a Greek silversmith, finds Rome. Our story begins in 1884 with Sotirios Voulgaris, a Greek silversmith who fled poverty and political unrest to settle in Rome. Italianized as Bulgari, his name soon crowned a small boutique on Via Sistina. Here's something few know. Sotirios often used ancient coins in his jewelry, believing they carried history and good luck. This eccentric habit made early Bulgari pieces mini time capsules of the Roman Empire and quietly set the DNA for a brand obsessed with mixing antiquity and modernity. And unlike the Parisian maisons known for restraint, Bulgari leaned into boldness, confident geometry, coin motifs, and above all, color. The house treated gemstones like pigments on a painter's palette, sapphires, emeralds, and rubies colliding in unapologetic contrast. La Dolce Vita, the Hollywood years. The 1950s and 60s transformed Rome into Hollywood on the Tiber. Bulgari's boutique on Via Condotti became a playground for stars. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton staged their love affair under its chandeliers, often buying jewels between takes at Cinecittà. Sophia Loren and Gina Lollobrigida, meanwhile, treated Bulgari as a patriotic badge of Italian glamour. And out of this glitz slithered Serpenti, the coiling snake that became Bulgari's signature of seduction, danger, and rebirth. Elizabeth Taylor once left Rome with an unpaid Bulgari bill, so outrageous it made headlines across Europe. The press dubbed it La Taylor's Roman dowry, while accountants whispered about numbers fit for state budgets. Richard Burton, never one to miss a punchline, quipped that she had financed half the Italian treasury with her shopping sprees. Bulgari had become the stage where Hollywood royalty acted out their romances and scandals. To Taylor, jewels weren't just ornaments, they were trophies of passion, each emerald necklace or sapphire brooch marking another chapter in her turbulent love story with Burton. And Bulgari's boutique on Via Condotti wasn't merely a store, it was their theater.
First, we're very proud of our Greek origins, and Sotirios Bulgari, the founder of Bulgari.
The wobble, growth pains, and a blurred identity. By the 1980s and 1990s, Bulgari's hunger for expansion turned into overreach. Watches, fragrances, leather goods, eyewear. Investors loved the numbers, but critics scoffed that Bulgari had become a brand without borders. The soul, the bold Roman color, the architectural glamour was fading. And then came a shocking headline. In 2004, thieves tunneled into Bulgari's Via Condotti store, escaping with millions in gems. It was one of the most audacious jewelry heists in Italian history, proving Bulgari wasn't just luxury. It was legend, even to criminals. The turning point, LVMH and a new discipline. In 2011, salvation arrived in the form of LVMH. With the acquisition came discipline, scale, and renewed clarity. Under CEO Jean-Christophe Babin, Bulgari doubled down on what only it could do: fearless color pairings, serpentine design, and unapologetic Roman audacity. A little-known fact, the LVMH Bulgari deal in 2011 wasn't just about jewelry. It was the largest luxury takeover Italy had ever seen. Valued at over 4.3 billion euros. The shockwaves went far beyond Rome. Rivals like Richemont and Kering suddenly had to reassess their own strategies, realizing that jewelry was no longer a side business, but the crown jewel of luxury. For Bulgari, the deal wasn't surrender, it was a supercharge. Overnight, the brand gained access to LVMH's global distribution, marketing muscle, and financial firepower. It marked the moment Bulgari went from an ambitious Italian house to a heavyweight capable of taking on Cartier, Tiffany, and Van Cleef on the world stage, reanimating the icons. If the brand's past was a treasure chest, the comeback strategy was to reopen it with purpose. Serpenti was reimagined in fine jewelry, high jewelry, watches, eyewear, and leather goods, each drop teasing new textures and attitudes.
Serpenti is a symbol of transformation, healing, and rebirth.
B.01, inspired by the Colosseum spiral, became the bridge to a new generation. And here's a fact that surprises many. When it first launched in 1999, B01 was criticized by traditionalists for being too modern. Today, it's one of Bulgari's best-selling pieces worldwide. Watchmaking: thin, thinner, thinnest. In 2025, the brand unveiled something that slammed the door on any lingering doubt: the Octo Finissimo Ultra Tourbillon, a watch a mere 1.85 millimeters thick. That's not a typo, 1.85 millimeters. For context, that's thinner than many credit cards. Thinner even than some coins.
This one is 1.85 millimeters.
This is a 2 Swiss francs coin, and the coin looks like a big watch compared.
This watch didn't just break one record. It claimed the title of the world's thinnest tourbillon wristwatch ever produced, after years of Bulgari pushing boundaries. Minute repeaters, automatic calibers, skeletonized designs, each one shaving away fractions of a millimeter. The feat was made possible by radical engineering, a caseback that doubles as the movement's main plate, skeletonized components, and the use of ultralight yet strong materials like titanium and tungsten carbide. Every part had to be optimized, even the crystal thickness, nothing wasted. And here's what makes it truly extraordinary. Priced at around 750,000 euros, the Ultra Tourbillon is produced in strictly limited edition of just around 20 pieces, available only through Bulgari boutiques, and some units may be pre-allocated to collectors or Bulgari's important clients. In other words, it's not just thin, it's nearly impossible to own. Suddenly, those same Swiss brands who had dismissed Bulgari were quiet, because this wasn't just about making a thin watch. It was mastery, culture engine, ambassadors, and viral moments.
I think as long as you're breathing, you can find unexpected wonder. I think if you're lucky enough to be open to it, it's everywhere.
A comeback isn't complete without culture-shifting ambassadors. Bulgari tapped global icons, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Liu Yifei, to embody Eternally Reborn, the brand's message of constant transformation. Campaigns weren't mere advertisements, they were mini-films, dripping with Roman sunshine and cinematic swagger. And what many missed? These ads doubled as tourism promotions for Rome, boosting the city's global image and cementing Bulgari as its unofficial cultural ambassador. Hotels. From side quest to world building. When Bulgari first announced it would open hotels, critics rolled their eyes. Commentators dismissed it as a vanity project, a jeweler playing landlord. Who wants to sleep in a necklace? One magazine sneered. But the skeptics underestimated Bulgari's vision. As luxury shifted from buying objects to buying experiences, the hotels turned into immersive brand temples. In Milan, London, Dubai, Shanghai, and Tokyo, guests entered a universe where every detail whispered Roman modernity. Travertine marble that echoed ancient ruins, floral arrangements designed like high jewelry compositions, mineral-rich spa stones recalling Bulgari cabochons. What once looked like folly became foresight. Today, Bulgari hotels aren't just side projects. They are extensions of the brand's world building, a place where you don't just wear Bulgari, you live inside it. Values, philanthropy, and the next luxury consumer. Bulgari's revival wasn't just about sparkle. Since 2009, its partnership with Save the Children has raised over $100 million for youth education worldwide. Here's the unexpected part. The most popular item in this campaign wasn't high jewelry, but a simple silver ring priced around 350 euros, a democratized luxury that carried the Bulgari name into millions of homes. And it signaled that joy and responsibility can coexist. What does fall and come back really mean? Did Bulgari truly fall? Not quite. It never disappeared, but it lost focus. Its comeback wasn't a miracle. It was a ruthless edit. Fewer icons, louder stories, bolder theater. Where others whispered heritage, Bulgari sang from the rooftops of Rome why the comeback worked and keeps working. Bulgari's resurgence worked because it combined spectacle with discipline. Serpenti kept reinventing itself. From fine jewelry to gem-heavy high jewelry, think pavé scales shimmering, to handbags with subtle snakehead closures, the line binds every category into a single, hypnotic story. B.01 grew from scandal to staple, and Octo Finissimo broke records. And when you break records, the market pays attention. Each Octo Finissimo milestone reframed Bulgari as a legitimate watch engineering house, not just a jeweler dabbling in time.
We wanted really a hugely elegant and contemporary watch, matching with the modern gentleman styling.
Global ambassadors made Bulgari reaction-worthy, while exhibitions transformed shopping into theater. Above all, Bulgari doubled down on Rome, the travertine, the sunlight, the audacity. In a world of blurred luxury, Bulgari stayed unmistakably Roman. Where it's going next? Bulgari now sets its gaze on Asia and the Middle East. High jewelry acts as a lighthouse, icons as bridges, watches keep slicing thinner, Serpenti keeps shedding skins. Expect more immersive stories, exhibitions, culinary collabs, and city-specific capsules that position Rome not as a postcard, but as a living mood.
Which products are selling the best?
It has been a year, I would say, of high jewelry and high-end watches.
From a silversmith embedding ancient coins for luck to thieves tunneling under Via Condotti, Bulgari's arc isn't straight. It spirals like B01. Its fall wasn't collapse, but a warning. Its comeback wasn't luck, but clarity. And its future, eternal rebirth, coiled like the Serpenti, ready to strike again. Which Bulgari era you'd wear? La Dolce Vita Emeralds, B01 Minimalism, or the Octo Finissimo? Let me know in comments below.